Conversations and Opinions. I'm Caronica.
I'm Tarvis.
I'm Clorissa.
And I'm Shae.
And we are talking about mental health, pandemic, and self-care. So, ladies, let's get into it. All right, I'm going to start off, and I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable here. During the pandemic, I don't know about you guys, but prior to the pandemic, I was always the strong one, you know, and you don't think about whether or not you need something or somebody, and I thought my mental health was intact, and it really wasn't. So because I'm a very touchy-feely individual, I was missing that human touch. I craved it. So because I didn't have that for my self-care during the pandemic, I had to start journaling and meditating. And let me just tell you, that really works.
Okay, so today we're going to discuss how we kind of got through the pandemic, how the pandemic affected us individually, different practices we implemented or things that you may have implemented to push yourself through unprecedented times. People at home with children, being teachers that didn't mean to be teachers, people off of work, people working from home, and it takes a special person to be disciplined enough to work from home. So we're sure that we're going to share some things today that everybody can relate to.
Yeah.
Yes, and probably went through.
Yes,
right.
and
You
are
know.
still going through.
Right.
Hello, somebody.
And maybe you'll take some of these things and walk away with some successful ways to push through and keep pushing.
Yeah. So, what have you ladies adjusted during this pandemic? And not only what have you adjusted to during this pandemic, when it came to your mental, do you think it altered it a little bit, or was it's the same? If that makes sense.
I think for me, definitely, it altered it. It was. This has been a challenge for me. I have a small son, and just I'm more of a. My day is organized, so not knowing from what's going on from day to day, that gives me anxiety. So this new life that we have now, where we don't know if schools are opening or if we are going into the workplace, or you know what's going on from day to day, that kind of freaked me out. So that was new for me. And I didn't think that would bother me so much.
Okay.
But yeah, like I think I became addicted to grocery shopping.
Oh.
So that's interesting. So I got a question for you. Did you have anxiety before the pandemic?
I would probably have, before I probably would have said no, but I probably so. I think it made me realize I did have anxiety, and it just made it come out more during the pandemic.
So anybody else has?
For me, it was a big change. Being a single woman, you know, trying to date, trying to meet people, that was a big change for me.
Yeah.
Trying to feel comfortable enough to be around other people, meet up somewhere, like I don't know, you know, how do you date in the pandemic?
Wow.
I tell you what you should. Oh, good Lord. Do you even date?
Yeah, only imagine.
Will they tell you?
I mean,
whether or not they've been tested.
You have to kind of like, you can't like just ball up and curl up in the corner and not do things, you know. But at the same time, I have to be very cautious and have a conversation with the person that I'm trying to get to know. Like, me dating now is completely different, because now I'm asking you questions like, so what do you think about this whole situation? And then if you start telling me things like, what are you talking about? It's not a big deal.
It's
like,
a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we can have a conversation, because I don't think this is gonna work.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait a minute, hold on. You said conspiracy, because if I'm being honest, I feel like the vaccination is a form of genocide. Because I have a friend who actually took it, and she said it literally says you have to sign a waiver that if you plan on having kids within the next 5 years, you shouldn't take it.
Okay.
So
let's jump back to that one. just because I wanted to make a point about her dating during the pandemic.
Okay.
It makes, so dating is already hard as it is. So
Right.
not only are you having to account for the physical, the lack of in person, but
Right.
being in a relationship and getting to know someone and growing a relationship, how do you do that without physical touch?
Exactly.
I mean,
And that's the thing.
Well, they
Right.
say,
You-
video. Have you done a video?
So
Do you do
what I
video?
have been doing, I was doing that before the pandemic.
Oh, you were
anyways.
doing video
Like if
before
I'm
the
doing meeting someone online or anything,
Okay.
like it's probably better now to meet people online than just to meet people out and about.
Right.
To be honest
Yeah.
with you, it's kind of hard now.
Yeah.
But to meet people online, and I'm talking to you a little bit, trying to message you, trying to figure out what's going on,
Right.
and then I'm like, okay, the next level,
Yeah.
we're going to video chat. Let's make sure we're not catfishing each other.
Right.
Just want to make sure you're the same person.
Yeah.
Right.
And then after that, after I video chat them, we communicate back and forth, and then I'm like, okay, so what is the next step? Do I feel comfortable enough to meet this person face to face and risk my life?
That is ultimately
Yeah,
what it is.
that's
though.
basically-
that's the
ultimately
truth.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
so
it is.
that's a big thing for me.
And see, like the online dating, I got married during the pandemic. So the video chatting, but I only did a lot of video chatting because we lived in separate
Right.
states. We were long distance dating. I know for myself, the level of frustration that would build after, okay, we haven't seen each other in a week, 2 weeks, okay, it's been a month now, it's been 60 days, we're making a plan to figure it out.
Right, right.
But
Right.
if you're during the pandemic and you're on lockdown, some cities,
Whew.
like where my
Right.
husband is from, that city is still on lockdown.
Right.
Right.
We're in 2021, we live in Atlanta. So we may not have experienced as harsh of a crackdown as
Right.
other parts of the
Maryland,
country.
because
Right.
Maryland cracked down kind of hard.
Right.
Right.
And to start a relationship with them,
Yes.
they're trying to
How
get
do
to
you
know
build
someone.
intimacy? Like an intimacy, I don't just mean like sex and or those types
Right,
of things. but
right.
Yeah.
Watching a movie together, laying
Right.
on a person's
Uh-huh,
shoulder.
yeah.
You
holding
kind of
hands,
have
walking
to
in the
risk.
park.
It's a risk. Like for me, like to go out and meet someone, it is a big risk because
Yeah.
I really don't know where
Them,
you've been.
their practices,
I don't know
yeah.
your everyday life. I don't know who you was just hanging out with yesterday
Yeah.
who could have had.
For sure.
You know-
Exposure somewhere else, yeah.
I don't
So
know.
do you ask the question? At
I-
least the question of, did you test yourself or have you been tested? Did you get a negative? Because
So, depending on the person, because sometimes depending on what your job is, and if you are in a place where, like, I'm always exposed at
You're
my
an
job.
essential worker.
Yes.
Okay.
But there are people who, if you're a truck driver or if you're a person who is like in a closed off place where it's just you all the time,
Yeah.
it's just different. Then you talk to the person and kind of feel how they are. Like if you are just willy nilly with everything, then I'm like,
If they don't believe it's real
yeah,
and they
you know,
just like whatever.
But you have some people who feel kind of like you, like, okay, I'm just trying to fill out the situation,
Yeah.
I'm not putting myself in danger. I wear a mask. I put myself in a place
Right.
where I'm not exposing myself to
Yeah.
a bunch of people. At this time of this pandemic, it's almost like you just gotta you gotta be able to figure out who the person is. Kind of, hopefully
Well-
they're not in.
here's my question. But why wouldn't you just flat out say,
Have
you been tested?
Oh,
Cause
yeah,
see,
so-
cause I'm
Yeah.
coming out the gate with that. Hey, my name's Tarvis. Have you been
See?
tested?
Oh.
But that's
You know what I'm
not.
saying?
That's I mean, that's cool, but it's not going to work all the time because I get tested all the time, but that don't mean that I didn't get exposed yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
mean-
think we're dealing with a different type of
Pandemic.
beast
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is-
It's like this is the type of thing that today you could be fine, tomorrow
Yes.
you could have it. You know what I
Like,
mean?
for
So
instance, us at home,
yeah.
I had
So I'm
COVID.
kind of like figuring out, like I'm kind of like checking you out a little bit,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But some people are asymptomatic.
Yeah.
We had it in our home. I got it first. Didn't have many symptoms. Just headache, but you
Right.
attribute those things. Oh, today was just a hard day at work.
Right,
Body
right.
aches, but I had just hiked a mountain 2 days before.
Right.
So I didn't
Okay.
think anything of it. Lost my sense of taste and smell, which I have in the past during like sinus infections and things like that. But this time I wasn't stuffy. I didn't have any cold symptoms. I just lost my sense of taste and
Right.
smell. Caused me to get tested. Yep, tested positive. Okay, dang. Everyone in the house still tested negative. On my last day of quarantine, my son tested positive. So it's like, Man,
Yeah.
you know, on the last day, my husband
Right.
never tested positive, so you cannot tell by looking at a person.
Yes.
You mean
can't
never
tell-
tested negative?
He never tested positive. So
Oh, so
myself
you
and my
were sick,
yes, and my son,
and then he.
husband never tested positive.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you just don't know
So-
because everybody's symptoms are totally
Completely
different.
And my
different.
son's positive came 10 days after mine. So you just
Oh, wow.
never know. So, you know, I understand. You
Yeah,
have to be
it's-
asking right out the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, in whether they're gonna tell the truth or not, you don't know.
But what do you have to gain from not telling the truth? I mean,
But people lie all the time, you know.
but I'm going to
because-
find out tomorrow
But-
or in 3 days that you have
Right.
it because now I'm
Right.
Well, I'm hoping that the dynamics of conversations between grown women and men, that it cuts out the game plan, because you know everybody don't bring their true representative. Now, I personally am that one. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna change.
Right.
Anybody who's ever met me will tell you she ain't changed. She's a clown. Yes, number one clown. Okay, but I mean that's what I'm thinking about. And to switch gears a little bit with the anxiety, do you guys feel like that wearing the masks attributes to anxiety, stress? Because we as people on a normal world where there isn't a pandemic, we breathe it like you know
Right.
normal. We ain't worried about it. So now it's now a constraint in how we breathe normally. So do you think, that's why I was asking, do you think that since you said you didn't think you had anxiety, do you think because you're wearing the mask now more that it fluctuated?
Well, I can tell you this: when I'm in the store, I give myself like 15 minutes.
Yes.
Because I feel like start sweating, and I'm like,
You reach your maximum.
Really?
yeah, like I'm getting stuff that I really don't know why I came in here. I'm just out of order. Because the mask, yeah, and it's worse now. Because at first it wasn't that bad. Now it's like you try to find a mask that fits you. Yeah, it's not working. Like I'm in and out because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now that you say that, it could be because yeah, I'm sweating like I'm doing a workout going to the grocery store.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now do you keep it on when you're in the car by yourself? Because that's another thing that
Do
blew
you?
me away. Absolutely
Nah,
not.
Oh, I was
do
about to
that.
say now.
No.
Right with you.
Right, and I be driving and I see that because immediately when I walk out the store,
Take the mask
I
off, yeah.
take
No,
it
I
off.
take that off walking to the car. No,
Now,
but
see-
when I see people, I'm like, somebody's not telling me
Right.
something like, we supposed to be wearing this mask in the car
No,
too?
I'm
Like,
not doing that.
Yeah.
That's just too
I don't even
much.
go to the store anymore. Anybody
sh-
knows me, I do
yeah.
not go to the store.
Are you serious?
I get delivered to my door every week. You hear me?
I'm not mad at that.
I went to the store yesterday with Caronica and I was in there. I forgot how to use my card.
No, Shay.
What?
Oh,
I
Shay.
haven't been to the store since the pandemic like that.
I'm not mad at that.
I have to go to the store because I feel like that's like,
Right, because we don't go out no more. So
Let me get
hey,
dressed to go to the
right,
store.
Yeah.
Look.
Let me put a little lipstick on.
For what? Because the mask is covering
It
you.
don't
Right, it
matter.
don't matter.
Let me put a little lipstick on or something. Hey, you know, maybe
No.
that's it.
like you meet people, like, hey.
Yeah.
People be conversating with me with the mask on. I'm smiling. I'm like, oh,
You
but
like,
you
you don't
can't.
even
I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm smiling.
I'm smizing. Yes.
Yes.
I have found myself getting frustrated in the store, not even knowing that I'm feeling pissed. And I'm like, we were furniture shopping or something, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go. I wasn't really ready to go. I was tired of being in the mask.
Yeah.
And I'm not against the mask for the sake of
No,
clarity.
no.
The masks are helping to keep us safe and healthy out here. They're protecting our family members with compromised immune systems. I get all that. And you see this fool right here. You see this? This is why I should have on a mask.
Right, everyone.
Right now.
Everyone.
And you
should
can't
have on a
see,
mask.
but the crew is putting on
Right.
masks right now because she looked the top fool.
I'm going to go get my mask.
She told y'all she was a clown. Have you been tested?
Right. When the last time
You know you just ruined all of your online dating opportunities. If anybody
Right.
sees it.
Okay, hey, let's be clear. I have been tested.
Okay.
I am negative. Let me tell you why I'm coughing. My home stays 68 degrees, but these people around me, they cold. So, unfortunately, I may be coughing a lot because my head can't handle anything over 68 degrees.
Is that what?
Okay, so yeah.
Or the Rona can.
right.
I'm joking. She's totally COVID negative.
I promise. Cut it out.
Yeah.
Really?
I am listening to you guys talking about going to the store with a mask on. I wear my mask 10 hours a day.
At work.
5 days a week.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's a lot.
That's hard.
That's
Day
hard.
long.
Yeah.
Like I do respect, like when I go to the grocery store and the people are like, I can see the frustration, and I'll recognize that, and I'll say something to them, because I'm like, it's just like I understand, because I can barely wear the mask for the time that I'm in the grocery store.
I probably would get fired, because I don't know that I can do that.
It's difficult. I cannot imagine how
difficult.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find yourself hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or because like if I'm taking a call and I'm talking to one of the patients or intern, I'm trying to talk to them through the little mic, and they're trying to hear me, and I can't really understand what they're saying, depending on if they're in the building also.
Yeah.
So we're going back and forth. I'm like, so what did you say? You know, and then someone comes up to me and they ask me a question, and I'm looking at them and I'm thinking like, I have no idea what she just said, but I can't read her lips because she has the mask on. So that's kind of
that's true with that mask too. Like you don't know what nobody's saying anymore
at all. And
does it distort your hearing? Because I find myself saying, what you say?
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to give people 6 feet, but I lean into what you say.
Yeah.
I can't understand what you say.
Right. I'm always apologizing.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's talk about the self-care aspect.
But wait, I want to ask one question before that. The next question is, because you have a son who's younger and you have a son, what do your kids, do they talk about the uncomfortableness of having a mask on? Have you seen anything change in how they are because they've had to wear masks all day? If I don't know if your son has been in school, but I know you dropped your son off. So have you seen the change from him not having to wear a mask and now that he has to wear a mask all day?
Well, my son is young, so when it started he was 4. Okay. So the school that he was going to before, it was like kind of like a medical type of school, like a hospital. Okay. So they quickly got them onto the mask. So he kind of, now that he's in kindergarten, it's normal to him. Like I have to kind of tell him, hey, you're in the car, take off your mask, because he'll walk around with it all day with the mask. Yeah, he'll just keep the mask on. So I'll tell him, hey, take the mask off. So I think kids kind of like it's not as, I don't think it's as hard for him. And as far as like him with friends and things like that, right now this is his new norm. Yeah. He doesn't know any difference. Like the teacher tells him, don't touch, or you guys have to stay this. He'll come home and be like, are we not allowed to do this? Are we not allowed to hug or something like that? He doesn't know he doesn't know any difference. Like it may be different because she has an older child.
Yeah.
So what's your
I was just going to comment. So I have 2 bonus daughters. My son is 16, he's still in school, and my youngest bonus daughter, she started kindergarten during the pandemic, like your son. And my older son, he is like, oh man, he's frustrated, or oh man, we got to get masks, because our county gave everybody like 5 masks. They supplied the masks to everybody at the school because they want to, make sure that everybody is properly equipped. Okay. He is like, oh man, I'm so happy to have the mask off. But my bonus daughter, it's her norm. She doesn't think anything, it's the norm for her. So she doesn't have the frustration associated with someone who's used to being in that environment in a more free fashion. So my son wanted to homeschool because of the whole mask restriction. Not because he didn't want to be safe, but because of physical activity. Like, how do you do gym with the mask on? How do you do the weight room with 30, 40 kids? Well, they've social distance now, but there's some tasks that are difficult to execute while you have on a mask. So he just was like, I'm over it. But he went back to school because, that social aspect is important too. But so
that
on one end,
interaction.
But on one end, frustration. The other end, they don't know any better.
Yeah,
so
they don't know.
Kind of just depends on
they
where you
get
are.
used to they adjust. Little kids adjust easy,
quicker.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yeah.
They do.
Okay.
They do. So for self-care, you wear a mask 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. What are you doing because self-care doesn't just have to do with like your beauty regimen and things, but there's a mental aspect to that too.
Yeah.
So are you lighting a candle first thing when you get home? Are you taking 30 minutes of downtime where you're doing deep breathing exercises? Have you implemented something new to kind of calm the anxiety or whatever you're feeling from being restricted like that all day?
To be honest with you. What I've been doing ever since this, and I realized I drink a little bit more.
Oh,
they say alcohol sales have gone up.
And we all know somebody. I bet you do too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When I find myself in a stressful situation, or I've been through a lot that day, I will go home. I will get me a little glass of something. And I might turn on my favorite TV show and literally just binge it out, or take a shower, or just something just to release like the stress.
Yeah,
that's how I release my stress. Just kind of like literally quietness, or just finding something that I enjoy watching or something like that, and that helps me.
Taking the load off, letting your hair down. And
just what I need to do is start to work out and like work out some of that frustration that way. That's what I
Lord
need
help
to
us
do.
all, Lord.
Girl, that's a whole different stuff.
Some of the things that people that I come across that like this pandemic has like helped people lose weight, all these things. I was like, how did you lose the weight? She was like, stress. I said, why can I have that kind of stress?
Yeah, it hasn't affected me that way.
It hasn't affected me that way. It's the other way.
Oh, you don't want the stress. I know what you're saying.
I don't want the stress, but I just don't understand why I don't have the reason why you have a better look through your stress. I just want to know. Can I have that? I just want that part.
What's the trade-off on that?
Yeah, because I feel like for me, I'm just starting to get in the schedule of doing things. Like I'm starting to work out a little bit more now, and I'm starting to do like facials and things like that. Because when I first started doing this, like by me working at home, I'm working. It felt like I was always working.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, I can do a little bit more. Because I'm at home. I can do a little bit more.
Yep.
Okay, let me put the laptop up. Like it's like I was always on.
Yeah.
So now I'm like stepping away and like taking care of myself. So, but this is just something that I just started doing.
Yeah.
Before it was just like,
like
what's going on here? This can't be life.
Yeah.
This can't be life.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
about you?
I told y'all early on, I meditate. I have to meditate to center myself. And I'm journaling now. So I journal every day. And I think that helps me to stay calm because like you're married, you guys have, and your kids, you guys have that human interaction in the house. Shae and I don't. So I be journaling. Wish I had somebody here to hug. Just hold me, chase me around the house. I don't know. Just something. So it's just, dreaming out loud if you will.
Right.
Yep. But it's really, really rough. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Because if I had a choice, I think I really would want a significant other here, just that we can bounce how we're feeling off of each other. Get you a little something, cook. No, I'm sorry. I digress.
She means a sandwich.
I digress.
She means
I'm sorry. But yeah, and then what I do every week is I soak in the tub with candles, listen to what I call sing-along music.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Give us a note.
Absolutely not. Okay.
Give us a note.
Yeah, no, we'd all be embarrassed if I did that. La 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 la.
Oh, see?
Okay, that's enough.
No, that didn't work for y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. No, really?
No, man.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me tell you, if you don't do that, I think that would allow you to really digress and kind of like wash off the week,
Yeah.
if you will, and revitalize you for the next 7 days that you got to be by yourself.
But you want to know what? I guess sometimes I enjoy it.
Being alone.
Oh no!
Girl, what?
Trust and believe. I enjoy my own space.
Yes.
But I mean, you know,
So you have some other emotional issues.
I be want, you know, somebody
A Zumba partner.
Yeah.
you know, I be wanting somebody to throw me, you know, something.
No.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm gonna keep it one. Y'all know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I be
The
wanting me to get.
companionship, I get it.
Oh.
That's what
I get it.
okay.
I get it.
Hi.
I get it. I get it.
So
Flip
for
me over.
myself, I've been an entrepreneur for a while, and I'm used to working from home already.
Right.
But I've never been a disciplined work from home person. Like I'm still working on it. I'm not happy that I'm not a disciplined work from home
Right.
person. But previous to this, I could, if I felt like I had too many days of not really doing 8 or 10 hours worth of stuff, I would say, oh, let me go find a co-working space
Right.
to work at today. Let me go to Starbucks and work today. You know, I've had office space off and on, but now when you don't have the option, co-working spaces are closed, or they're opening back up now, but the options have gone away. So now I'm forced to stay at
Right.
home. And my son was homeschooling for several months.
Okay.
My husband moved down. So now I went from the house is to myself. Okay, when my son gets home from school, you know, things have changed for me in mostly a positive fashion. Been very blessed over the last couple of months, but just like y'all, some of them days I'm like, James, you don't have school today? Wait, why did they say y'all don't have school? Wait now, what? And I'm like mad because I enjoy quiet time. I enjoy time by myself a little bit. I love my family and I love all that stuff, but I'm going from 10 hours alone a day to 0 hours alone.
Oh wow.
So for myself, the people aren't the problem. It's
Right.
just me needing
It's
to
different
figure out
when you're
another
used to
way
it. Right.
to still get the time to myself. So
Right.
I've been meditating a lot more. I have
It really works. I didn't think it did, but
Yeah.
it really, really works.
and
I
I've
need to start doing
implemented
that.
Yeah.
those. I even sent y'all, I think, a video of the meditation music during the day and even at night to sleep, calming music, because I find
Okay.
myself feeling frustrated and nobody's doing anything wrong. I'm like, oh.
Right.
Nothing
Getting all
wrong.
hyped.
Yeah. So meditation music has been a very strong factor in me being able to kind of be calm and manage my emotions during the day. I take my client calls at certain times of the day. Sometimes I'll even take those outside just because it gives me a little bit of change of scenery. And like she said, I'm trying to get to working out a little bit more, even
Right.
if it's just.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
It's forcing me to turn inward and really ask myself hard questions too.
Absolutely.
You know, because am I really frustrated or am I undisciplined? You
Yeah.
know, do I have anxiety or did I wait to do everything on my checklist until 5 minutes
Yeah,
before it was
'cause
supposed
it's
to be done?
different.
So now
Yes,
you're
yes.
asking yourself
Yeah.
those questions to
Yeah.
see,
Right.
you know, so a lot of self-development and self-awareness is coming about, and I'm enjoying the process.
Yes.
And with the school thing, I just want to thank all the teachers. Because,
Yes.
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 And all the essential workers.
Yes.
Because I am not. I repeat, I am not a teacher. I am not. I am not a teacher.
You didn't train for this?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes. Thank
Anything anybody needs, when they ask for anything, I bring.
You bring it.
I'm the Costco mom.
you. Yes.
You don't have to ask twice. Everything on the list I'm bringing.
Appreciation.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I really do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's serious.
I like to say thank you all for listening in to Conversations and Opinions, and I really hope that you took some nuggets from what we've all experienced.
And if you have some things you want to share with us on how we can push through some of the things
Yes.
you've heard us say
Yes.
today, leave them in the comments.
Yes.
We read the
Please.
comments. We will talk about the comments next time because I'm sure you have some things that you
Oh,
implement
yeah,
today to help
absolutely.
us push through too.
Yeah.
And do not comment, oh, she got corona. I didn't told y'all. Okay?
Yes.
It's hot in here.
Yes.
So, you know, that sinus drainage, it's nothing nice.
We're all
So-
healthy ladies here.
Yes. So thank you again for tuning in to Conversations and Opinions.
Bye.
Bye.